19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. New Canaan, Darien, a staple in the state of Connecticut in terms of rivalries. The rivalry renewed here inside the New Canaan High School gymnasium for some boys volleyball action between the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave. Myself, John Frieders, going alongside Savannah Leone to my left. Welcome on DAF Media and NCTV 78. Thank you for joining us. It will be a good one between two of the better teams in the conference. New Canaan right now has an opportunity to try and move closer to clinching the 1 seed. They can get there. Darien still making up after a couple of early losses, but still strong, one of the stronger teams in the state. And it's funny too, a down season for Darien means you're 6 games above 500, you're 11-5. And Savannah, how about the Blue Wave this season? Talk about some of their pieces, Trevor Herget as well as Miller, the two outside hitters who have been dominant for the Blue Wave this year.
Yeah, they're both 6 rotation players, so they're people that we rely on a lot during the game. Their season, they've been on varsity for multiple years, and then we have some people in new positions or just completely new to the varsity team this year, so figuring out leadership and roles.
Yeah, you talk about it. The Blue Wave lost a couple of big pieces last year. On the other end, though, New Canaan having one of the better seasons, not just in season history, but in program history. New Canaan has been dominant this year. We'll be back here on NCTV and DAF Media Network in just a few moments after the national anthem and the starters. Talking a little bit about the standings looking in right now. New Canaan is the 1 seed on the east side, just ahead of the Blue Wave. New Canaan 9-1 in the FCIAC. Darien 8-2, neck and neck. This game, a crucial game in terms of the standings. Below them, Ridgefield and Bridgeport Central. But talk about the two teams in the East Division fighting. And in the West Division, we don't have a graphic for that, but Trumbull 10-1, Staples 9-1, Stanford 8-2, all three competitive with New Canaan. New Canaan plays Staples for their final game of the regular season, but this game on the East Division standings could be a big game in determining seeding and standings. In Savannah, you're a player yourself, and playing in that Blue Wave home gym is always a tough place to play. The environment, also playing here in New Canaan, home field advantage really comes to play in the playoffs in the FCIAC tournament, right?
Yes, definitely. New Canaan always has a pretty good fan section that I think really helps feed the energy of the team on the court, especially at a home game like this.
Yeah, and also in terms of seeding, you know, the higher the seed you are, you know, the lesser of an opponent you'll have to play. But if you're in that 3-4-5 mix, you could be playing a Darien first round of matchup, which you do not want, or a New Canaan. Both these teams really tough team to face off against, and all dependent on seeding and losses. New Canaan, of course, one conference loss right now, the Blue Wave 2. And, you know, coming into this season, high expectations. Last year, Darien lost that 75 consecutive match win streak, a streak unheard of, not just in the state, in the country. 75 consecutive matches. Head coach Lori LaRusso, undoubtedly really the GOAT in high school coaching for the Blue Wave coaches, both the boys and girls. But head coach Amy Warren looking to do something extremely special here tonight, win her 100th career game. We're looking at LaRusso, talk about Savannah. You played under her all 4 years of high school. You know, talk about kind of the coach that she is.
She's definitely an iconic figure in the volleyball world here, and she runs off tough love. She can be a little intimidating, but she truly cares about the success of the players and of the team, and she pushes everyone to be their best.
Now, on the other side, we talked about it, head coach Amy Warren, New Canaan, started the girls program here, coaching both the boys and the girls teams, looking for her 100th career victory for the boys. On the boys' side, over 100 career combined, but this would be a big win for her as a coach. You talk about it coming against a team like the Darien Blue Wave, almost storybook in a sense, winning that 100th career game against a team. They're just fixing the net right now, about ready to begin action here inside the New Canaan High School gymnasium. The quick handshake between the two coaches. It will be a very good matchup here. Myself, John Friedrich, joined alongside Savannah Leone to carry you through all facets of this game. Going to be one of the better matches in the state this season. We'll see both teams, you know, going to bring their best. New Canaan and Darien, always a rivalry that you have to throw the records out the window. We'll throw it now down for the national anthem and the starting lineups for both of these teams.
Number 2, Tucker Kalu. Number 7, Ryan Peck. Number 9, Jake Patterson.
Just moments away from the rivalry being reignited. The New Canaan Rams, the Darien Blue Wave here on NCTV 78 and DAF Media Network. Myself, John Frieders, Savannah Leone to my left. Highly anticipated matchup, always circled on the calendars. These two teams always competitive, and in a matchup like this, I'd argue to say you have to throw the records out the window. It's whoever plays the best here tonight that's going to walk away with it. Both teams with star power. Of course, we talked about Jackson Miller, Thomas Herget. Herget, just another Herget in the line, a family tree, still living strong on the volleyball team for this Darien Blue Wave. As for New Canaan, you've got Akavaramu up front with some height. John Baliute has really emerged as a piece. He picked up a volleyball about a year ago, elected that he wanted to play, and he does bring that serve. He's starting in a matchup like this. You heard the extra cheers for him too as well to begin this. But Savannah, how important is a hot start for either one of these teams in the first set?
In my experience, you really starting strong is really important because you start, the end gets a little messy, you get a little tired, and it's more about grit, but you set the tone for the game in the beginning with controlling the first serve if you have it or siding out on that first ball, and it helps your team just get in the right mindset.
You are right. It'll be a good one. A hot start early is strong. Of course, Darien in one of those losses, that big loss to Staples, very competitive team, didn't get off to the best start. New Canaan also has struggled at times this year with their starts. A matchup highly anticipated as Coach Warren's father, Ralph Warren, in the stands doing his iconic cheer where he bangs the bleachers as the crowd kind of quiets down. Baliute, the senior for the Rams, will have the first serve. Baliute's first serve up, placed in. Set over. Herget with the early hit. Out of bounds. New Canaan grabs the first point. Baliute strong and known for being able to put the serve in consistently. That's why Coach Warren loves him so much. You see Garcia saving it. Hit from Miller. Kept up by Baliute. Hit by West. Kept alive. Blue Wave free ball over the net. Oh, takes it into his own hands. Getting up high, soaring, and throwing it down. 2-0, Rams on top.
It's a good setter dump. I don't think Darien was really expecting that.
Just finding an open hole, right? Putting the ball right in. Baliute's third consecutive serve lands in. Kept alive. Block attempt in front. Somehow kept over by the Rams. Herget fake hits. Blocked in front. Dylan Ho, Akavaramu, Zane Tiku all in range.
Set was just a little tight. He tried to save it with the tip, but unfortunately the block was there.
The block up front. Oh, although he is a bit shorter, he's got bunnies on his feet, able to get up. Herget sets up. Hit attempt by the Blue Wave. Ball hit over. Point to the Rams. I believe that's a net violation.
The ball was covered and it was called a lift because it was with an open hand.
Lift, thank you, Savannah. Lift, Rams off to a strong start, already up 4-0. Baliute still serving. Live up top, hit by Miller. Tiku keeps it alive. West throws it down. My apologies, that was McLaughlin.
Really
Nolan
strong
McLaughlin.
swing down the line.
Coach LaRusso calls the first timeout, much needed timeout for the Blue Wave. Already down 5-0, will be a minute. But Savannah, how about the start for the Rams, coming in with a lot of energy? As for the Blue Wave, settle things down. What do you think the Blue Wave are talking about inside that huddle right now?
You know, when we were mentioning before about how important a strong start is, I think Coach LaRusso is just going to tell them something along the lines of trust your training. We just need an in-system pass to go and get a good offensive attempt. And if not, then we can reset and trust our defense and keep a rally going.
McLaughlin leads the team in kills. He was the one who killed the last point. He has 148 on the year. Kill percentage above 45%, 46 to be exact. He's been on fire. He was a star last year, only a junior this year. You talk about it from that team last year. New Canaan did not lose a lot of pieces. We talked about it in the opening. Darien lost 4 to 5 guys who were key contributors. As for the Rams, they lost Sturkey and Heron. But other than that, did not lose anybody.
Started the serve a little early there, but ref called a replay, so he's going to get to go again.
Replay on the serve for Bally. Bally doing his job, putting the ball right into the box.
Point's going to go to Darien. Herget argued for that as he had begun his serve, tossed it up, and caught the ball. It's going to be important for Darien to use this free point.
Herget able to talk the ref, swing the way towards the Blue Wave. First serve for the Blue Wave belongs to Jackson Miller. Miller, the junior. Miller's serve is in, set up. Tiku hits it down.
Nice dig.
Free ball by the Blue Wave and lands out of bounds. New Canaan gets the ball right back. Now up by 5.
It's going to be important to make New Canaan earn their points as they've set the tone that they're strong at the net, strong offensively.
Ho leads the team in aces with 21 on the year, serving. Up to Herget. Herget throws it down. Batted right out of the air. Lands in, giving the Blue Wave the ball back. You know, Savannah, coming into this game, you have to think part of the Rams' game plan was keep the ball away from Herget and Miller, which is almost inevitable that the ball gets to those two players because they're on opposite sides, and Darien does a good job of mixing it. Ball goes off the hands of Akavaramu. Celebration by the Blue Wave. Now within 3.
It's going to be important for Wheeler to keep his serve here. Put some pressure on New Canaan because they've definitely put pressure on Darien.
Wheeler, the sophomore, serving for the Blue Wave. A free ball, awkward ball. Hit by Herget, kept alive by Akavaramu. Set up just over the net. Park hits it up to West. West looked like it hit in the direction of Herget. Herget just not able to get a hand on it. Point to New Canaan.
Went off the block there, weren't quite pressed over the net enough, so he was able to push it through their hands, and Herget didn't expect that.
Always tough to make mid-air adjustments as well. McLaughlin, another strong server for the Rams as his serve lands out. 7-4. Just trading points here after the hot 5-0 start for New Canaan. Served by the Blue Wave. Park miss hits. It was hit down. Just no one could get a hand on it, get the ball over. Serve back to Wheeler, the senior captain.
Good attempt by the setter, but just barely missed it.
Wheeler serve in. New Canaan just hit by Tiku.
Good use of that in-system pass running the middle. It's important to establish your middles early so that the block doesn't camp on the pins, especially when you have strong pins like New Canaan does, and so does Darien.
Now Park serves for the Rams. Park, another talented server, just getting the ball in. Set by Wheeler to Herget. See if it hit New
It looks
Canaan
like
finger.
New Canaan admitted a touch there, so Darien's point.
Did hit a finger of a Ram. Rams in their home white jerseys, Blue Wave in those classic blue. Now Herget serving for the Blue Wave. Herget with 52 aces on the season.
Just wide there, point to New Canaan. Volleyball is really a game of momentum, so New Canaan had that first 5 points of momentum, and then they sort of lost it.
Talk about momentum. You want to maintain that momentum as well. Donovan West with the first ace on the day. The celebration afterwards, a good way to rebound. Only his 11th ace on the season. Serve over, up top, thrown down by Brown. Can't leave a ball up like that for Brown. Brown bats it down, and a mistake by the Blue Wave costs him. West serves. Kept up, Herget with the free ball, batted by West. That was Miller and Ho meeting on top. Ho won that matchup.
Nice joust at the net.
West serves once again. Set by Miller. Parked over, hit by two Blue Wave hands. Out of bounds.
It's going to be crucial for them to use those overpasses from New Canaan. They've gotten a few but haven't really been able to convert them.
13-6 advantage New Canaan. West serves, lands out of bounds. 13-7. For the Blue Wave, it'll be Garcia starting libero. Garcia, the junior, serves, calling
A
foot
fault.
over the line. Point to New Canaan.
Once again, it's those points that are completely in your control that are going to be crucial to keep in your control and not give New Canaan a free point.
Mistakes like that in a big matchup always cost you. Herget sets over far side.
Well-placed push by Galoo.
Galoo puts nice placement on the ball, as you mentioned. Savannah far corner, aiming for the corner, puts it in. 6-point advantage, Blue Wave serving.
Missed serves and foot faults really add up, and especially in a neck-and-neck game, or New Canaan's got the lead right now, but both top teams, it's going to be important to take care of those points.
Baliute back serving for the Rams was key catalyst to the 5-0 run New Canaan started out on. Baliute serves. Set to Miller. Miller hits. Just could not get his hand where he wanted to on the ball. Miss hits.
Nice in-system pass by Herget. The set looked a little wide, so Miller tried to cut it, but was a little wide to save.
Baliute serves again. Herget receives. Up to Miller. Miller blocked
Nice
by
coverage.
the Rams front. Over to West. West attempts the kill off the Blue Wave hand. Donovan West stepping up early. LaRusso, another timeout, knowing the importance, now down by 9 in the set. But Savannah, what do you say to your team to kind of work back in this set? Of course, down by 9 points. Baliute has been strong serving for the Rams. What do you say to your team, settle them down? Of course, calling 2 timeouts early.
I think they're definitely a little bit shaken right now. New Canaan came out really strong, and I think they sort of stepped back instead of going up to meet them in that. And I would just tell them that they really need to, it seems like they're starting to maybe chirp a little bit towards each other, like if they're getting frustrated. So they got to stay united to work against this strong New Canaan team right now and use the good passes that they have and keep going with the coverage. They've gotten minimal block touches while New Canaan has had a lot, so I would say maybe either slow the ball down or ideally a stuff, but definitely just more of maybe a presence at the net and a mental toughness.
See, they break the huddle. Strong New Canaan breaking the huddle a bit earlier. Part of this has to be just wanting revenge. Of course, New Canaan hasn't beaten Darien since 2016. Of course, it is always a rivalry, always close, but it's always tough to call it a rivalry when you can't beat your rival for an extended period of time. 17 times the two teams have played since that last win for New Canaan. Of course, New Canaan has made it to one FCIAC championship, looking to do that possibly this year. High expectations. Herget hits over, back to West. He throws it down. Donovan West celebration.
New Canaan's really able to put these balls away, and I think Darien's maybe getting a little frustrated with their swings not turning into as many kills as they would like or are used to.
Valiute still behind the line, serving, puts another one in the box. Set over far side, switching angles the set to Patterson.
Great pass. It really starts with the pass that gives you the ability to make that set, and then it was a nice tool off the block there. You know, if the hands are going to be up there, you got to find a way to use them.
And mixing it up, too. Of course, you want to get the ball to Herget, Miller, two kill leaders for the Blue Wave, but you mix it up on a pass like that, that throws New Canaan's defense off. Back up, McLaughlin with the big hit off the hands, the front.
Block was just a little bit far off the net, leaving some space for him to cut it inside.
Big hit for McLaughlin. See now Ho serving for the Rams. His serve, a powerful serve.
Great pass.
Good pass over to Herget. Herget throws it down. Power on power. Herget matching now 19-10. Working back in this point, of course, you can't have those foot faults, those violations, self-inflicted errors right now. Serve touched by Akavaramu. Out of bounds. Big serve for the Blue Wave.
It's going to be crucial for him to keep this serve, go on a run, and get some momentum back for Darien. They got to believe that they can stay in this if they want to have a chance.
Lehman serving for the Blue Wave. His serve off the top of the net, doesn't get the lucky bounce. Lands on their own side. Giving the ball back to the Rams. McLaughlin serving for the Rams. Awkward hit by Herget. Blue Wave forced to attempt a free ball off the hands of Miller. Just miscommunication costing the Blue Wave a point.
They've got Herget passing out of the middle to run up two ball, and so they didn't have an outside to go and get that out of system ball.
Another awkward hit by Herget. New Canaan's McLaughlin with a good dig. Garcia keeps it in. Blue Wave pinballing the ball around. Park with the good set. Over to McLaughlin, who fakes the big hit. Over to Herget. Herget smacks it off the hands of Weston Akavaramu in front. I thought that was Tiku.
Nice job fighting through that block.
Weston Tiku in front trying to block. Just not enough force. Just keep away from Herget's powerful hit. Oh, changing things up, leveling. Garcia meets him, keeping the ball up in the air. O's beautiful set to Akavaramu. Akavaramu hits, but it's blocked in front. I believe that was off the hand of Peck.
Tries to cover himself and lands just out of bounds, but he's definitely going to be looking for that ball again, get a second chance at swinging.
The lengthy Peck in front, strong presence. Served by Wheeler. Set up to Tiku. Tiku throws it down. Looked like the Blue Wave were trying to meet him in front. Just could not.
Blue Wave has really got to press on these blocks here. They're giving them space to get through.
22-13 now. Set up. Garcia free ball over, lands in. It looked like New Canaan was trying to figure out who was going to touch the ball. An awkward point on both sides.
That was definitely,
I'd say, Savannah.
Definitely a gift for Darien. There was a bit of a miscommunication on the set there, and somehow they ended up with the point.
Blue Wave wind up with that point. Herget serving. Powerful serve. Good job by the Rams. Set to Miller. Miller hits.
Good up.
Dig by
getting
McLaughlin.
That deep corner.
Set up to Peck. Peck's hit. Kept alive by the Rams. Over to Akavaramu. Akavaramu. Monstrous hit far side. 23-14.
Darien desperately needs to make an adjustment on their block here. They're swallowing a lot of balls that they're there for. They're just not pressing over the net.
West serving for the Rams. His serve.
Barely over the tape.
Lesser serve. Smart serve. Up to Akavaramu. Akavaramu hits. Peck and Galu in front. Just could not keep the ball from moving over. A strong, powerful hit by Akavaramu. See him hold up the finger, 1 point away from taking this first set from the Blue Wave. Ball up, hit by Miller. Blockers in front. It was Brown and Ho, but too much on the hit by Miller.
When Darien's in system, they're able to get these points back, but there's been a lot of miscommunications and a lot of silly errors that are letting New Canaan get ahead.
Down by 9, Garcia serve over. Ho sets, Akavaramu hits. Mistimed the jump and the hit. Ball doesn't make it quite over the net, 24-16. Garcia serve once again. Set by McLaughlin.
Out of system to the outside. Makes that same error.
Awkward hit once again. Blue Wave climbing their way back into this set.
Even
Down
if
by
they
7.
don't make it all the way back, this run is really important for their momentum heading into the next set.
Garcia's serve cut. Hit by Brown. Gets the ball back, keeps it up. Back over to Akavaramu. Serve up, big block in front by Brown. Rams take the first set. See the celebration ensue. Rams take the first set, 25-17. Quick 3-minute break in between sets, but Savannah New Canaan comes out strong and give up a couple points, but able to make those back, mount, 2 really strong rallies where they were able to just continue to stack up those points, and that's a big kind of first set to take.
Yeah, Darien definitely started climbing back in the end there, but New Canaan, as we said, started out strong, and then they were able to finish, and they just had a great presence at the net, really strong offensively. I think they tipped. I don't remember seeing them tip. I think they were swinging just completely lights out, and then we obviously saw them block a ton of balls. And while Darien was able to cover some, it's tough to come back from getting stuffed so many times.
And what are some of those adjustments that you're making if you're head coach LaRusso, of course, looking at the stats right now, but then going to go talk to her team? What are some of the things you think she's saying in the huddle to try and get this Blue Wave team back locked in? Of course, we're able to score a couple points at the end of that first set to gain some momentum, but New Canaan just looks very strong right now.
Definitely what I was talking about earlier with making adjustments on the block. They're getting killed by being tooled and just swallowing the ball. And I think that they can really make a change in the game if they just fix their block, and as well as more pursuit on defense. I think they're letting some balls, or they're just giving up on some balls, but long rallies, they help tire out your opponent, and they also, I think it'll just help them be able to be in the mindset of that they can win this set.
And talking kind of about this New Canaan program, of course, New Canaan having one of the better seasons in the program's history. They've been just so strong this year. Part of it comes from the group of returning people, but part of it is the culture that Coach Warren has built. Of course, Darien has been strong really since the start of boys volleyball in the state of Connecticut, but it took New Canaan a little while to establish a culture where you have a lot of guys playing in the off season, playing for clubs, teams, and most of these guys for New Canaan play, and same with Darien too as well. And it took New Canaan a little bit, Coach Warren, to establish a culture. They get to this point where they're having a strong season coming in. They knew they'd be good. And Darien too as well. Still remarkable to say 11-6 is a bad year for the Darien Blue Wave. 11-5, my apologies. 6 games above 500, and people and teams are still saying, this Darien team is just okay this year.
Yeah, they're used to a different standard here, but it's definitely different. But I think that they can turn it around. I think that they have a good mix of talent. There's also number 3, Will Sapione. This is his first year. He's coming out to start this set, and he's been pretty good in the gym and adjusting fast, like you mentioned, the New Canaan player was. So I think that this could make a change for Darien in this set.
Yeah, Sapione loves the gyms, right? In the winter, a big star for that Darien Blue Wave basketball team, one of, if not, their best players. Then moving over, you know, a couple guys also on New Canaan play basketball. Akavaramu, a star defensive player for New Canaan's basketball team. Donovan West played basketball really up until sophomore year. You know, you see that transition often, right, from basketball to volleyball, just with the height, you know, the similarities.
Definitely.
You see it carry over in other sports, but I think basketball to volleyball is a bigger one. Miller will have the first serve of the second set. New Canaan to the first set, 25-17.
Misses that first one.
First point is awarded to New Canaan on a missed serve. Akavaramu, my apologies, Balut serving for the Rams. Balut, you know, we talked about it a few times. He's really been a key piece for this New Canaan team, and he's still, you know, picked up a volleyball just a couple years ago, you know, years and comes in for this New Canaan team. Love having a guy like that for the culture.
Seems like an
His serve hits the
uncharacteristic
net.
error for him. He's been pretty consistent server this whole game, or this past set.
We'll talk about serving percentage too. 95% serve percentage coming into today. I'll take that on any team
Very
I have if
impressive.
I'm a coach. 95, and also the volume is there too as well. Serving a lot. Missed serve by the Blue Wave. New Canaan takes the third point, now up 2-1.
3 missed serves to start the game off the set.
Not the way you want to start off the set if you're either team. Poe's serve nearly hits the net. Set by Park, up to McLaughlin, blocked in front by the Blue Wave. That was Wheeler right up on the charge. Right up, gets basically skies completely vertical. Big block, now Wheeler serving. So those points just so electric, right? Savannah, the big blocks in front. Now, as a volleyball fan, you'll love to see points like that. Serve set by Akavaramu, then set over. McLaughlin tries for the kill, blocked in front again. Second chance, second opportunity, and he converts.
Great reverse flow by the setter, New Canaan on the first one, but Herget was there to get a block on that. And unfortunately, when they went back to him again, Garcia was just a little surprised, I think.
Can't give a guy like McLaughlin 2 opportunities. Same goes for Herget or Miller. You know, once is already bad enough, but twice, giving more opportunities. New Canaan's free ball by Ho. Set Miller over to Herget. Herget with the big hit.
Great use of that free ball, going to Herget for the kill.
A lot of power in that kill. Herget again, you know, just following in his brother's footsteps. One of the premier stars, his brother Trevor. Remember my sophomore year, he was a senior. He was a star on this Blue Wave team. And Trevor, now Thomas, also a star on the football team in the fall, but he loves the volleyball gym. Hit by Miller. Park keeps it alive. Little awkward pause. West hits it over.
And that's going to be outside the antenna, so Darien's point.
Outside the antenna. Darien now up 4-3 in the second set, working back. Talk about momentum too, although you did have a bad first set, you know, you could come in and, you know, completely reset on the set. Akavaramu got his hands on the serve. Powerful serve by Herget.
Looked like he
the
was
net.
going into the tape and hit them by surprise a little bit, and then miscommunication after the pass.
Herget serves again, up by 2. Herget serve. McLaughlin keeps it alive. Backward set to West. West hit just a bit outside the lines.
Coming from the right side, it's sometimes an awkward angle for that assistant balls when they're passing over your shoulder, so it's easy to make that out-of-bounds swing.
Canaan just wants to flip it up, right? Get anyone but Herget serving. Herget serves again. His serve hits the net. Canaan down by 2, an opportunity to work back. Tiku comes off. Park, the libero, serving for the Rams. Park, a star on the soccer pitch in the fall. A lot of multi-sport athletes. His serve lands in. See what they call.
That's going to be interference. Wheeler was trying to set the ball, and the middle came over the plane in the net onto Darien's side, interrupting the set, resulting in Darien's point.
That was Brown.
Trying to argue that it was on their side, but unfortunately for them, the ref is not agreeing with that.
Oh, talking with the ref. Serve back to the Blue Wave. Patterson. Patterson serve out of bounds.
Not the greatest time to miss when they've got a little bit of a run going.
And so then to talk about, the second set, a lot of missed serves. What has kind of changed between these two teams in the second set? It's caused them to miss so many serves.
And there's another one. I think it's maybe they're not taking their time. Maybe they're looking ahead to the rest of the rally or the next point.
See West, jumping up and down, not happy.
Coming over to the ref
serve.
again.
And Ho, once again, comes over to talk. Wheeler serving for the Blue Wave. Ball's up. Set up to Brown. Brown slams it down.
Great swing.
Brown with the big hit, flexes the muscles. Canaan still down by 2, but good job, get some momentum. Blue Wave, Herget, smacking hands. Blue Wave, of course, just seasoned veterans. Ball over, awkward ball, tipped.
Great save by Miller with his left hand there. Set was old tight and a little bit wide.
Mid-air adjustment by Miller, taps it over. Now 6-9 for the point. Miller now serving. Miller takes a pause. Ball's up. Park mishits.
Pursued that, but
Akabarmu
just missed it.
on the chase. See, powerful serve. A misplaced hands by Park. 6-10. Crowd is quiet. McLaughlin set by Ho, up to McLaughlin. New Canaan gets the point.
The setter drew that block there with the jump set, as he's been a threat offensively so far. So we had the middle jumping with him, and then it was a great decision by him to throw that to the hitter so that he had one block up.
Ballyute serves for the Rams. We talked about it, 95% in terms of serving percentage. Talking with him in class today, very excited for this matchup. His serve deep, Garcia keeps it up, free ball by the Blue Wave. Ho set, thrown down by Tiku. Tiku with the jam.
Great swing, and again, the setter drew the block there, so he had an open net.
See Coach Warren on the side, cool, calm, and collected. Ballyute serving. See communication by Herget on the Blue Wave, kind of fixing positioning. Elliott serve.
Great pass.
Pass over Sapione. His hit out of bounds.
Ball was a little bit behind him, tried to keep it in and was not successful.
You know, it is interesting seeing Sapione, of course, his first year playing volleyball for this Blue Wave team. And transition basketball to volleyball, which we talked about. Just funny seeing a guy like him. Big block in front by Tiku. See the celebration by the bench. Now all knotted at 10. New Canaan with a bit of momentum. Elliott serves. It up to Herget. Herget's hit.
Wheeler was in the net there, but it was outside of the antenna, so it does not count as a net violation. But the down ref called number 3, I believe, on New or 13 maybe on New Canaan in the net. So it's Darien's point, and New Canaan's a little frustrated with that call.
Either Baliut or Ho. Referee's talking. Points now awarded to the Blue Wave. Garcia serving. Blue Wave up 11-10. Garcia's serve. Set up to Tiku. Tiku once again. Powerful hit.
Great pass.
That's it at 11.
Darien just unable to shut down the middle so far.
About that height that New Canaan has in the middle. Tiku, West, McLaughlin, all big, powerful hitters for the Rams. Ho serves. Miss serves. Ball hits the net. Another serving violation. And Savannah, we should start keeping track of these serving violations. Both teams just struggling in this second set. Of course, New Canaan up 1-0. 25-17 was the score of the first set. If you're just joining us here on DAF Media Network and NCTV 78. Oh, beautiful pass to Tiku.
Good save on a tight pass by the setter, and again drawing that block, leaving a completely open net.
See lots of smiles in the front, even knotted at 12 right now, and this New Canaan team.
They definitely seem cool, calm, collected, and I think Darien's a little frazzled right now.
Garcia's hit by Herget. Oh, set. Far side, West with the hit.
Good touch on the block, slowing it down.
Over, good hit.
Good
That
placement
was
by Wheeler.
You know, a light tap, always cool to see. You know, all the highlight plays are of big slams, big hits. You know, some of those more intuitive plays are those little taps, you know, find open spaces and, you know, pick your poison, pick your spots on the court. Herget's hit way out. Serve a bit too much, maybe not enough spin on his serve.
Yeah, I think he
out by
palmed it a little
few
bit.
feet. Knotted at 13. Tiku comes off. Park will serve. Park serve up. He hits off the hands of Garcia. Entire New Canaan bench on their feet. to 13. Park serves again. Serve off the chest of Garcia. Set Ho to Akavaramu. Akavaramu's hit. Ball plays high. Miller counters with the hit of his own. Dig by Park. Akavaramu's hit kept up by Garcia. Far side. Miller trading blows with the Rams. Big hit by Brown. Brown gets up, just again feeding the ball to the middle, and New Canaan capitalizes.
The setter here's back row on New Canaan's side, and I think Peck got a little bit confused thinking he was front row, so once again jump with the middle and giving his hitters another open net. Doing really well with that this game.
15-13, Parks serves again. Out of bounds after the big point. Interesting to see both these coaches too just let their teams work through it. We haven't seen a timeout in the second set after 2 from Darien in the first. 15-14, serve back to the Blue Wave. Bryn serving for the first time. Akavarmu set. Ho to Akavarmu, who finishes.
Great placement on that.
Akavarmu left no question. Big kill and a smile. Will be West serving for the Rams.
New Canaan looking to pull away here after it's been neck and neck.
Opportunity, neck and neck, second set, as you mentioned. Feed to Miller, big block in front. Ho and Brown, sky up in the air. Celebration, timeout ensues. Head coach LaRusso does not like it. Blue Wave down by 3. New Canaan in the huddle. Lots of smiles, lots of energies. The Blue Wave are just settling things down, focusing. You talk about the importance of a point like that, an opportunity for New Canaan to possibly pull away. If you're New Canaan, you have to be happy with the position you're in. If you're the Blue Wave, too, you're very much in reach. Only down by 3. A few serves, a few errors by New Canaan. Right back in this set.
They need to have mental toughness here if they want to make up these points. New Canaan's getting close to 20, and that can be tough to see on a scoreboard. So I think they need to really settle in, calm down, and get coverage on these big blocks that New Canaan is putting up.
And we've touched a few times on the mental side of volleyball, but also a game like this for New Canaan and even for the Blue Wave. This is where your mental toughness is tested. But Savannah, you as a volleyball player yourself, how do you work on that mental toughness? How do you practice, being mentally tough? And the mental side of the game, of course, you're practicing physically every day, but how about the mental side?
It is tough to teach, but there's drills that Coach LaRusso does in her gym, like 24-21, where one side will have game point and the other side will have to get 4 points in a row without making a mistake, which just tests their ability to work under pressure.
Brown, big hit, kept alive, strong dig by Herget. Free ball Garcia. Set up, West McLaughlin coming in from way out. Herget, big hit, ball off. Looked like the shoulder of Park. Big hit by Herget.
Strong back row swing there.
Gallo serving for the Blue Wave.
Just 1 point down.
Down by 1, 17-16. Set up to Akavaramu. He hits it off the hand of Herget. Point to the Rams.
It looked like it was going out, but I think that Herget went for it because there was a touch on the block.
You have to be too aware, too, of kind of the boundaries of the line, but also on a ball like this moving so quickly, it's all instinctual.
Definitely hard to tell, but it's better to play it than let it land in.
Miller hits from the far side off a few New Canaan hands. Powerful hit.
Good placement on that.
That has to be one of the worst feelings in volleyball, right, is when you don't touch a ball that lands in when you're debating on whether or not to hit it.
Definitely brutal, and that's why it's better to play one that's close.
Served by Miller. Kept alive by New Canaan. Set up to McLaughlin. Hits.
Looks like it was just wide.
On a ball like that,
New
too,
Canaan
as well.
disagreeing with that. Tied at 18.
Tied at 18. Miller continues to serve. Set by Ho. McLaughlin hits. We'll see what they call.
It didn't look like there was a touch there. It looked like it went off tape from my point of view, but we have the down ref calling a touch. He has not said what number the touch is on. Bit of an argument going on. Darien taking the opportunity to huddle up. I don't think they're going to. Oh, they do reverse the call. Ball rode along the tape and went out of bounds.
Reverse the call. Point to the Blue Wave, 19-18. Blue Wave on top in this second set.
New Canaan's definitely going to look to answer after that call and get some revenge.
Miller serves. Set up to McLaughlin. Big hit by McLaughlin. The kill credited to number 18. 19-19, much closer second set here, Savannah. Both teams trading blows, going back and forth. It's point to point.
New Canaan's definitely continuing to put the pressure on, but I think Darien's stepping up more this set.
Ballyute has been the lucky charm for the Rams on the serving side. Back serving.
Great
Kept
pickup.
alive. Free ball by Ho.
See if they can use the free ball.
Up top, Sapione. Big hit. Finds a pocket in the middle and doesn't miss.
Really important to use that free ball, and now it's important for Garcia to keep his serve in, give Darien a chance to play some defense.
Garcia serving, Blue Wave up 20-19, a few points from taking the second set. First serve, Ho sets up to McLaughlin. Big hit
Great
for the
push.
Rams. That's the guy you want the ball going to.
Really good choice by the setter to push that all the way out to the pin. There was not really a formed block for Darien, and they tried to get it up, but just missed.
And New Canaan doing a good job, right? And I think we've seen the depth of this New Canaan team. You've really got strong, experienced guys everywhere.
Great pass
With
by
the Blue
Herget.
Wave. Far side, big block in front by Tiku and West. Ball lands out of bounds though.
Patterson
Point to the Blue Wave.
tooled off their block.
21-20, Blue Wave on top. Akavaramu clapping his hands, trying to get this New Canaan team back in. See, Blue Wave, calm, cool, collected. Serve by Wheeler. Big hit by McLaughlin. Point to New Canaan. McLaughlin immediately runs to the serving line. This set far from over, although we're just 4 points away from either team. The way we're trading, it could be 9 or 10 points for the winner of this set. McLaughlin's serving error. Point to the Blue Wave.
Very lucky for Darien because neither team can seem to get more than 1 point here in a row. It'll be crucial for Herget to make this serve, but also crucial for him to keep it aggressive.
Blue Wave happy with Herget behind the line. His first serve right past Park. 23-21.
Great serve there. If he can keep it up for 2 more points, Darien will win the second set.
Herget, the team's leader in almost every important statistical category. Looking across, see it pretty much everywhere. Serve off the top, off the tape. Kept alive by New Canaan.
Good
Ball high in
coverage
the
after
air.
the block.
Free ball back to New Canaan. Far side. Akavaramu. Big hit. Celebration. 22-23. New Canaan serving. Park will serve for the Rams. See a replay here. Big hit by Akavaramu.
Right in that deep corner where no one was.
Now pick your spots. Served by Park.
Great pass. Let's see if they can use it. And they do. Really well-placed hit by Patterson, coming from that great pass and a great set by Wheeler.
Patterson, big hit for the Blue Wave. Able to find a pocket now. Blue Wave 1 point away, 24-22. Patterson, after the big kill, will serve.
I'd honestly just be looking to get it over and in if I were him right now with game point.
Patterson's serve, took a little bit off just to get it in. As you mentioned, Akavaramu, big hit. Akavaramu.
Right
Puts
in the
one
seam of the block there.
right in the same spot that he did. See the replay.
Block was definitely laid on that.
West serving for the Rams. serve, just getting it
Great
in.
pass by Herget, going to Miller.
Big hit for Miller.
Just wide, and New Canaan ties it up at 24.
24-24 celebration from the New Canaan bench. Good hit by Miller, just out. Coach LaRusso calling a timeout. And the New Canaan bench loving it.
It's really important to keep swinging on the big points, and Miller almost got that kill, so I don't think there's anything to be mad at that play. And New Canaan's definitely going to keep swinging, so both teams just have to stay aggressive and stay clean.
And you think Coach LaRusso calling the timeout because she knows the importance of this set, doesn't want to go down 0-2 to the Rams?
Yes, definitely. They have reverse swept this season before, but it is super hard to do. You need to have a lot of grit, and it's just not a position that you would want to be in. So if they're able to pull out these last 2 points, it would be really good for the rest of the match.
So you look inside both huddles. New Canaan huddle right now.
Looks like coach is either telling them to watch the tips or to tip over the block.
See, clap breaks, both teams out of the timeout. Head coach Warren, of course, going for her 100th career win on the boys' side. Coach LaRusso, the winningest coach in the state. Most wins ever. Serve in by West. Ball up top, blocked in front.
Good coverage, out of system set to Miller.
Big hit on the far side by the Blue Wave.
He gets that kill he was looking for earlier.
Replay, Wheeler with the big hit. Brown, Ho in the area. Big serve for Gallu. Gallu's serve.
Great serve. Puts them a little
Set
bit out of
up.
system.
Akavaramu hits, blocked in front. LaRusso's timeout does the Blue Wave justice. Now all knotted at 1. 1-1 in terms of sets. The Blue Wave take the second set, 26-24. See the replay of the final point.
Great point to end on for Darien momentum-wise.
We're going to take a quick break here on NCTV DAF Media Network. Don't go anywhere, as we'll have set 3 and 4 coming up in just a few minutes. Rams up 2-1 in this third set. The Blue Wave able to grab the second set 26-24. Sorry for the few technical difficulties. Of course, we're all student run. Two great advisors, Roman Cebulski for New Canaan and Damon Andrews for DAF. Rams able to grab another point, now up 3-1. You talk a little bit about the differences between those first and second set, right? That second set, a much closer set, much more back and forth, a lot more errors from the serving line. But, you know, back and forth, just Blue Wave able to hang in long enough. That grit, Coach LaRusso, we talked a little bit about it. Savannah, right? The grit from a team like this, an experienced coach like LaRusso. As the ball is hit out of bounds, you see the replay. Big, powerful hit by Herget, just a step or two outside.
Yeah, New Canaan was definitely more dominant in that first set, and they still played really well in the second, but Darien was just able to answer.
Po's powerful serve lands out of bounds. Will be Garcia serving for the Blue Wave, down by 2 early in this third set. Garcia's serve set up by Akavaramu. Ho taps it. Tiku tips it over. Herget, awkward hit in terms of positioning. McLaughlin hits.
Good dig by Garcia.
Up to Tiku. Tiku's hit blocked in front by the Blue Wave front.
Herget there to pick up the roll.
Interesting decision by Wheeler to hit it over. Big hit by McLaughlin. Rams point. Coach Warren loving it on New Canaan's sideline, clapping. See, big point. One of the longer points of the match so far, too, as well. Far side, Herget's attempt at a kill.
No
Hit,
touch
ball
on
hits
that
the
one.
net. Will be McLaughlin serving for the Rams. McLaughlin's serve.
Good pass.
Higher arcing serve, near side. Patterson's hit attempt.
Bit of a miss hit there, I think.
Hit the net, now 7-2 Rams. So McLaughlin's serve, speeding up the pace, the cadence here. Just quick serve, serve, serve.
Great
Hit
spot by
Herget.
Herget. I think they're really expecting him to have a super powerful swing on that ball, especially on good in-system set like that, and smart to drop it short.
And how much does something like that help you too, right, Savannah? You know, everyone expects you to come down, hit something very hard, and then you just instead tap it over.
Yeah, he definitely set the tone for himself with that big swings in the first and second set, and so helps him be able to catch the defense on
Far
surprise.
side, big swing by Herget on cue.
Goes off
the
high hands.
Off the hands of a few Rams players, ends up out of bounds.
Darien slowly climbing back, looking to maybe not repeat the first set where they dug themselves into a hole.
Serve by Wheeler. Toe up top, hit by West.
Block was almost there for Darien, but not quite, and so he was able to fight his way through.
Canaan up by 4, 8-4.
Important for Darien to side out here for momentum.
Park serves.
Good pass.
It's up, set over in front. Looked like a bit miscommunication.
Worked out in the end for Darien, being able to tool New Canaan's block.
It was Wheeler and Patterson. It's a violation on New Canaan. Point to the Blue Wave. Herget serves. Herget serve out of bounds. Just about a step outside. Point to New Canaan. West serves. Senior captain. Reverse set, far side to Patterson, who taps it, point New Canaan, out of bounds.
Wheeler tipped that just out.
West serving, once again, you see the replay here, just over.
Great pass by Miller and a great dig.
Somehow in the exchange of blows, the ball did not touch the ground. Big hit by Brown in front, point New Canaan.
Really strong swing, and Darien's block it was there and closed. They're just, again, not pressing over the net.
West serving for the Rams. West serve tapped up. Blue Wave far side.
Really looks to reverse the flow there, and unfortunately the right side got blocked.
Blocked in front by Akavaramu. He's loving it as LaRusso calls another timeout. LaRusso calling 4 timeouts. Coach Warren's none. 12-5. See a look inside the New Canaan huddle. Lots of smiles. They like to keep practice. The vibe upbeat. They tend to play better when they're kind of in the groove. Blue Waves, you know, much more serious. I think we've definitely seen that today, right? Much more serious in the huddle. You know, very focused.
New Canaan's really dominating this set again like they had the first set, so I think they're able to stay happy and calm, whereas the Blue Wave is feeling a little bit shaken, so they're having to be more reserved. I think they might benefit from a bit more celebration, a bit more camaraderie.
You know, at this point too, right, down by 7, I think that's why Coach LaRusso is calling the timeout, you know, kind of preventing something before it starts, right? If New Canaan were to keep on winning points, you go down where you could not recover a set like this. So this almost, not to say it's the breaking point of the set, but you're definitely nearing the point.
She's definitely trying to stop the bleeding of points here, and we'll see if it's successful.
West still serves, the senior captain for the Rams. Serve over, kept alive by Garcia. Up top, big block in front by Ho and Brown.
Patterson's really got to throw that tip deep with the big block in front of him. That's, you know, it's been established all game, so we got to be smart moving the ball around.
Or tap it over, right, and provide a little bit more elevation on the hit. Near side, Miller hit.
Great
Set
pickup by Libero.
Akavaramu, big, beautiful dig by Garcia. He
looks
from
a
his
little surprised
expression,
there.
looked completely shocked by what had happened.
Right
But,
place,
hey, you
right
take points
time.
like those. She just extended his arm. Perfect placement, even if it wasn't intentional. And point to the Blue Wave, 13-6. Akavaramu yelling at the Rams, you know, this is our time, let's go.
New Canaan's definitely looking to get the immediate side out here while Darien's looking to go on a run.
Served by the Blue Wave. Set. Ho throws it down. Haven't seen that often from Ho, taking it in his own hands, but sets, you know, have set him up to do something like that, where he's consistently feeding to his teammates that the opponent expects him to feed. Instead, he saw an opportunity, took it to gain a point for himself.
He just rotated front row, and I think that Darien hadn't realized that yet, and it was a great time for him to dump. It was really strong. Great pass, too, for that, but I think Darien needs to be more aware and communicative of when he is in the front row versus when he's not, because they seem to be jumping with him when he's back row and not jumping with him when he's front row, which leads to open net for their hitters or open net for him.
14-7, Glue serving for the Blue Wave. Up McLaughlin, big, powerful hit. Ball looked like it was going to touch the ground, did not. Free ball, Blue Wave up top. Brown, big hit once again, blocked in front by a few blue jerseys. Ho with the big hit for himself. You know, hit after hit. The Blue Wave defense in that front 3 held up strong, just could not hold on long enough.
Good block touches there, and then New Canaan ended the rally, tooling off of Miller, I believe.
Miller and Sapione, I think we're right side by side. Balute serve. Haven't seen him serve much in this third set, but a lot of serving in the first and second.
Looked like Miller was trying to cover around that form block in front of him and just went a little bit too wide.
See the smile from Balute. Looked like he was diving to go out and tap it. I think fortunately for him, he missed it right
Point to New Canaan, now 17-7. Valued serves. Set up, Herget forced to hit awkwardly. Sweep by West. Free ball by Valued. An error which will cost them a point.
A gift for Darien they definitely need to use at this point.
See here on the replay, just a little mishit error on the free ball. Serve for the Blue Wave, it'll be Miller. Miller takes it a couple steps approach. Akavaru hitting.
Overpass
Bit
not
too much.
used by Darien. Out of system
Well,
set by Miller to
Herget.
Herget. Great
Herget
kill.
throws it down. Talk about, that's one of the harder balls to kill because it's coming from behind you rather than from the side.
It's really important to be patient on those out of system balls because they're going to be in the air longer, and he did a good job timing his approach and getting around the block.
16-9, Miller serves for the Blue Wave. Miller serve over, received by Park.
Good, solid block touch that they were able to keep up, but unfortunately Sapione was in the net.
Sapione touches the net, 17-9. Delano serves, you see here on the replay. And the block in front, Sapione just reaches a bit too much, comes down on the net, point New Canaan. Serve overpowering. A little bit too much on the serve, winds up out of bounds. Fortunately for the Blue Wave, they get the ball back.
It's really important for Garcia to keep his serve here. They want to have a chance in this set.
17-10, Garcia's serve. Oh, beautiful setup to McLaughlin.
Great pass.
Finishes.
Great set and a great swing. Garcia was there, but just slipped through his fingers a little bit.
See, beautiful replay, Garcia. Set up far side, Herget, blocked in front, kept alive by Tiku.
Good idea by Wheeler, just needs to be a little bit more in the center of the court as opposed to Libera with that dump. And then set by New Canaan was just a little bit too high, so the middle couldn't quite get it over.
Darien receives the point. You talked about at Savannah, an opportunity, right? This is where you have to just continue to put balls in the box when serving if you're the Blue Wave.
Really need to be consistent and aggressive to not give them just an opportunity to run their offense perfectly.
Post sets to McLaughlin. McLaughlin forward, hits it. Near side, Herget. Herget's hit. Received, dig by McLaughlin. Akavaru moves, hit.
Looks like it was a touch.
Call, I believe it was touched by Garcia.
Garcia is honest there.
Replay. It is honest. Didn't quite fully see the replay. Park serving for the Rams, 19-11. Park serve, and it's out of bounds to the right of Garcia.
For Darien after being honest on that touch.
Now 19-12.
Be a great time for Herget to go on a run.
This is the guy you want serving if you're the Blue Wave, right? You want Herget to be serving, received by McLaughlin. Far side, Akavaru with the kill.
It's a good choice there to run that inside ball and attack cross court.
Big kill by Akavaru. West will serve, Rams up by 8. 5 points away from reaching that 25-point mark.
Great pass, running the middle, blocked and covered by Herget.
Big hit in front, blocked by New Canaan's front three. Oh, set to Akavaru. Akavaru hits, Park keeps the ball alive.
Great coverage.
Big hit by Miller.
Nice
side
shot.
Tough angle if you're New Canaan to receive a ball like that. See lots of seniors over in that New Canaan bench just scattered around. Practice is ending, crowd building. Definitely more people than when this match started. Set up to Akavaramu, just awkward point for the Rams, now 20-14. I have to wonder if Coach Warren might call a timeout soon, right, to settle down New Canaan as Coach LaRusso has done so often here today.
You guys even watching the match? Put your phones down. Put them away. I'm going to tell your agent. Put them away. Thank you.
No libero in for Darien right now. If I were New Canaan, I'd be swinging to Patterson in the middle after he serves.
Lehman serving for the Blue Wave. His serve out of bounds. My apologies. That was Patterson. Patterson's serve out of bounds, 21-14.
Down ref was speaking with the table there, so a bit of a delay.
Kavaramu's serve for New Canaan.
Good pass by Herget.
Near side, Miller.
Set was tight, forced to use his left hand. New Canaan setter trying to be offensive again. This one didn't quite go his way.
Canaan now up 21-15. The Blue Wave climbing back in. On the replay, near side, Miller just continues to be a factor for the Blue Wave. Miller, Herget, focal points of this Darien team.
6 points is not a huge deficit to climb out of, but when New Canaan has 21 like they do, it can be a little bit tough.
Oh, set to McLaughlin, who hits it off the hands of Sapio. Out of bounds point, New Canaan.
Great tool.
Because every New Canaan kid here has been on their phone. You're the only one paying attention. What's your score? Is the score right?
22-15, Rams up by 7. Quick timeout.
That's our deal.
Coach Russo talking to her team in that Blue Wave huddle. You know, of course, down by a few, an opportunity, but you have to continue to just stay resilient. There's definitely been a mental component to this game for the Blue Wave team.
They really got to believe they can win and get some momentum back, because New Canaan's sitting pretty comfortably with their lead right now, especially only 3 points away from winning the set.
Rams up by 7. Blue Wave taking a bit longer, breaking the huddle later, as they've done, you know, most of the timeouts. .22-15, Balute serving for the Rams. Clapping, the crowd trying to become a factor. Miscommunication by the Blue Wave.
Looks like that was a back row attack that someone wasn't quite ready for.
23-15. Balute serves once again. Balute serve in as it is so often. Far side hit, McLaughlin, big powerful hit. The celebration afterwards. New Canaan 1 point away from going up 2-1 in sets. The replay, the automatic celebration.
Great set by the non-setter there from New Canaan.
Balute serve is in, received by Garcia. Sapione, high hit. Oh, up to Tiku. Point to New Canaan. And New Canaan takes the third set. Now up 2-1. Tiku gets the final say. You see here on the hit.
I think he might have actually been in the net. Looked like he was a little bit surprised that they got the call.
Looked like on the replay, and might have touched the net. We'll be back here on NCTV DAF Media Network in a few short minutes for the fourth set of action here inside the New Canaan High School gym.
Hey guys.
Welcome back here on NCTV 78 DAF Media Network. Right now, the New Canaan Rams leading Darien Blue Wave 2-1 in sets. Talked about it. You know, what's at stake here today? New Canaan trying to beat the Darien Blue Wave for the first time since 2016. First time in 17 matchups. Also trying to give Coach Warren her 100th career boys varsity win. Of course, coach of both the boys and girls team. But you know, it's kind of fitting that it would come against your arch rival in the Blue Wave, right, Savannah? But the Blue Wave definitely have shown a lot of sign of life, especially in that second set. You know, third set definitely interesting to see between the two teams. Canaan taking the third set.
This is do or die for Darien right here, so pressure's on them and pressure's off New Canaan a little bit, so they're definitely going to keep swinging hard. And
it'll be interesting to see, too, how much of a factor the crowd becomes. You know, Miller serving, starting for the Blue Wave. His first serve, he puts it in. Park on the reception. Big hit by McLaughlin. Rams jump ahead early.
Well-timed roll.
1-0. See Baliut coming in for Stephen Brown. New Canaan. Libero. Park comes off. Baliut serving for the Rams. And talk about a guy who just picked up a volleyball. He's come a long way, you know, playing at the gyms. And it was funny, you know, I was in the stands a couple games ago. His dad was just talking about, you know, he just started going to the gym asking, and he was asking him why he was going to the gym. And John replied, you know, I'm going to play some volleyball. And it became a real big thing, you know, was going 3, 4, 5 days a week. Decided to join the team. And he's become a big factor serving on a team like New Canaan. All knotted at 1. Set by Akavaramu. Ho. Nice tap by McLaughlin. Blue Wave able to recover on the free ball. Ball up, kept alive, block in front. McLaughlin, big hit. Good, strong dig by the Blue Wave. And big hit by Herget lands in.
Up ref is overruling the line judges, calling that one out. Great defense in that rally by both sides.
We've seen Herget definitely aim for the corners. You haven't seen him hit it towards the middle often. Whether that's completely parallel with him or opposite corner. Ho goes up, bats it down. Second time today, he's taking it in his own hands, just batting the ball down.
Herget's trying to argue a lift on that, but ref does not agree with that.
Oh, after getting the point for the Rams, will serve. His serve hits the net. 3-2, Blue Wave on top. Be interesting to see, too, if both teams clean up the faults from behind the serving line. Saw a lot of faults by both teams in that third set. Tiku in front, could not get enough height on his hit. Ball hits the net, point Blue Wave. Darien up by 2, 4-2 in this fourth set.
It's especially crucial for Darien to play clean here because the pressure's on.
Serve Blue Wave. Far side, McLaughlin, big hit. Herget hits, blocked in front by Tiku. So that celebration, this New Canaan bench loves when their teammates gets blocked. Tiku with the big block up front. McLaughlin serves just an inch over the net. Awkward hit, Herget forced to send the free ball New Canaan's way. Near side, Akavaramu slams it down.
New
Knotted
Canaan
at 4.
really use that free ball to their advantage. Darien's got to use their passes that they get to convert offensively.
Big hit by Akavaramu, served by McLaughlin. Near side, Herget. Herget hit, blocked in front. Tiku and Akavaramu meet Herget at the net. Herget's hit, good dig by Park. Park again hitting it, too many hits. Point Blue Wave.
Another miscommunication there. Good pickup by the libero, though.
Now Herget serving for the Blue Wave. Blue Wave up by 1. Your Coach LaRusso, you want Herget to get a few serves in here, right? Build up a little bit of a run, build up momentum. His serve out of the box, though. See, Herget's missed a few times, just put in a bit too much on his serves tonight. Park will serve for the Rams. Set up over, Herget hitting from the middle. This ball lands in, painting a corner.
Great shot placement, making up for that missed serve.
See here, interesting, you don't see him hit from that middle often, but he was able to paint the line. Makes it 6-5, Blue Wave on top by 1. Of course, as you mentioned, do or die for the Blue Wave. They have to win this set. New Canaan up 2-1. Akavaramu's hit. He touches the net. You can tell he knew right away. Was honest with the ref. A ball like that, tough to hit too as well. All of his momentum was moving forward.
Yeah, set was a little tight, and he tried to save it, but follow through went into the net.
Serve Blue Wave, set by Ho, up to Brown, who smacks it down.
Setter drew the block again on that one.
See, perfect set by Ho over to Brown. Ho really one of the stars on this New Canaan team, started last year as a sophomore as well. West serve, saved by Garcia. Herget's hit. Counter by New Canaan. Big hit by Akavaramu. Darien keeps it alive. Up top is Herget, blocked in front. Ho and Brown, lethal combo. Celebration from the bench. Big smile on Coach Warren's face. New Canaan's loving it. What's not to love when you block such a good player as is Herget? But a big block. Ho met Herget up top. Herget another hit. West able to counter. Call net.
New Canaan's trying to argue that it was the ball that hit the net.
Eight 2-7, Blue Wave on top. They're toweling off right in front. Just got a bit slippery in front of the Blue Wave. Right on the Blue Wave's half of the New Canaan logo here at the New Canaan High School gym. Just joining us. Thank you for joining us. Myself, John Frieders, join the line alongside Savannah Leone, live on NCTV 78 or DAF Media Network, whichever side you're watching. Does not matter which channel you're watching from, as we are in the midst of a very good match between two of the better teams in the FCIAC conference. Big game in terms of playoff positioning right now. New Canaan 9-1, Darien 8-2. Miscommunication error by New Canaan will give the point to the Blue Wave.
Great time for an ace by Galoo.
Galoo will serve once again. Big ace for the junior. Post set to Akavaramu, slams, blocked in front by Wheeler. Sapione giving a little shove. Blue Wave love it.
It was a great block, and especially what you were saying earlier when New Canaan got pretty hyped when they blocked Herget. I think it's the equivalent.
You block smart court awareness by the New Canaan team. Right in the middle, on the sides, knowing the border. Let that one go. New Canaan point, 8-10. Akavaramu serves, very light serve. Diving Garcia, then miscommunication error. Forced to free ball for New Canaan. Up to Herget. Herget with a powerful hit, almost blocked in front. Just too much to handle. As Herget's hit will put Miller back serving for the Blue Wave.
Started with that short serve pickup by Garcia. It was a great read.
11-8, Miller's serve. Post set up. Hit by McLaughlin, kept in. Free ball by Akavaramu. Garcia receives far side. Herget hit, blocked in front. Dylan Ho, Stephen Brown able to block another one. That combo has been up high multiple times.
It was a great block. Herget's frustrated, not because of that, but because they're trying to call a double hit. I think after the block, it looks like it went into the net, off of him, and then off him again.
Darien disagrees, doesn't change the outcome. New Canaan point, 11-9 in favor of the Blue Wave. Serve kept alive. Darien forced to free ball. Ho over to Tiku, who throws it down. Zane Tiku with the big hit, far corner. Puts it right in the back. Good placement. We've seen a lot of good placement from both of these teams here today. Up to Herget. Herget is in position. Ref blew the whistle.
Ref's calling a violation of the middle line. Wheeler jumped up to set that tight ball, and his foot just went over.
I believe it might have been Sapione. Maybe it was Wheeler. Whichever one. I know there was a 3. Served by Balliot. Wheeler over to Herget, blocked in front. Back to Herget. Herget's hit. A very high host served. Our side there, Sapione, who gets up, kept alive by West. Up to McLaughlin. Hit after hit. Long point ensuing. Far side Herget. Hit. Attempt to be blocked in front by Tiku and Ho. Just trading blows. Darien gets the best of New Canaan on that point.
Great tool after some good defense on both sides.
Herget had 3 or 4 opportunities to lay down the hammer. Good defense from both teams. Garcia will serve. 12-11. Over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a big hit. See the celebration afterwards too. Fire the arrow. Now 12-12. All tied up. You see the replay. Beautiful replay up to McLaughlin. That ball's up there. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, not much the defense can do about that one unless the block slows it down.
Oh, serve. New Canaan gets lucky. Ball hits the tape, falls on the right side of the line if you're a New Canaan fan, wrong side if you're the Blue Wave. And point to New Canaan. Oh, serve once again. Powerful serve. Too far, too much.
Does not get
Went
lucky that
back
time.
to Darien. See, it's interesting too, Savannah, you know, of course, as a player yourself, you know, what's your take on, you know, taking a little bit off the serve just to make sure it gets in a set like this?
There's definitely pros and cons because you want to challenge their passing so they're not able to, say, run their middle if that's their best player. But at the same time, if you're going to be so aggressive that you're risking serving it completely out, then you might want to take some off.
Tiku was in front. He attempted at the hit, just too far out. 14-13, Blue Wave on top. Serving is Wheeler. Wheeler serve received by Park up top. West, big hit. Stayed away from the net. My apologies, that was McLaughlin with a big hit on the far side.
Great swing. The block wasn't quite formed there on Darien's side.
McLaughlin has the opportunity to serve. He serves. Ball over, awkward ball. It's free ball, Darien. Up top, Akavaramu.
Good block touch,
Goes
slowing
up
it
to
down.
get it. Back over, big hit by Herget. McLaughlin had the opportunity for the dig. He was weighed out, but too much by Herget. Far side, big hit, just a replay.
New Canaan setter looked a
Had an
little upset
opportunity.
there.
Now 15-14. Herget will serve.
Switch to a float serve to keep it consistent.
Big hit by West for New Canaan. Ball lands in. All knotted at 15. Savannah, these last set, this set have all been very exciting, just trading points. And for definitely a good finish between these two teams. Park serve kept up by Garcia. Far side, Miller.
Just long.
Attempts on the hit, just too much on the hit. Rams up by 1.
Darien tried to call a touch there, but unfortunately there was not one.
Park will serve. His serve lands over the net.
Out of system set to the pipe for Herget.
Park sets to West. West hit, kept alive by the Blue Wave, although that ball might have been going out. Park reverse set to Akavaramu. Just puts a bit too much on the hit, lands out of bounds. All knotted at 16. Rams and Blue Wave treating us to a thriller.
It was a great idea for that cut shot. Garcia was smart to let it go out.
Wheeler a couple steps behind. He serves, hits tape, lands on the Blue Wave side. Point New Canaan, serving violation.
Darien's really looking for this side out.
West serves. Garcia hits. Free ball by Blue Wave. Sets to Akavaramu, who finishes once again. Akavaramu near side. Throws down the hammer. Rams up by 2. LaRusso calls a timeout. A big kind of break, a pause for the Blue Wave. Right, settle things down. New Canaan up by 2, of course. Knowing game situation, New Canaan up 2-1 in sets. Do or die for the Blue Wave. Coach Warren telling everyone to just calm down, relax. See a couple of the guys getting water.
The block was super late on that point that just replayed for Darien, and you just can't give the pins that New Canaan has an open net because it can't do much about that.
See the Blue Wave. No, very serious faces, still very determined, gritty Darien team.
They've been in these situations before, and it's really more mental than physical at this point. Down by 2, need this set to continue the game.
And just look at that. New Canaan broke the huddle 10 seconds early.
They're feeling
Blue
confident.
Wave breaking the huddle right now. 10 seconds, and New Canaan was already out, basically, essentially on the court. Of course, New Canaan will serve up 18-16 in this third set. Hit by the Blue Wave. Just a step out. Point New Canaan. Now up by 3. Donovan West in to serve once again. West serve, just making sure he puts it in. Hit by Herget from the back. Oh, set, McLaughlin, and Brown finishes. Oh, set to Brown. Brown, big smile on his face. And another timeout, just seconds apart by the Blue Wave. Buchanan up by 4.
That was a great play. Completely open net for the middle. Sapione jumped with the setter, who looked like he was attacking.
See the replay once again of that last point. New Canaan is fired up. Dylan Ho doing a good job distributing the ball. He's taken it himself a few times, but he's really done a good job of mixing it up, right? He hasn't gone to one single person a lot, and the ways in which he's passed it has been different. Just look at that little tap up. Brown does all the work.
And him taking those balls offensively for himself in the beginning of the set and the past sets has led him to be able to get an open net for his hitters because Darien's block is expecting a dump, and then he sets it up for his hitters.
Darien down by 4, 20-16. New Canaan inching closer to that first victory in 17 matches. Far side hit by Miller, blocked in front by New Canaan. Back to Miller. Park receives. Ho to McLaughlin, who slams it down. Nolan McLaughlin, the celly after. Crown him is Akavaramu. New Canaan mixing it up. The replay here, just look at that. All the way from the back, big hit.
Really strong back row attack.
West serves in once again. Free ball by the Blue Wave. West over to Akavaramu, who hits just out of bounds by a step or two. 21-17. See a replay.
Looking for that cut shot, and Garcia lets it go out.
Big Gallo serving for the Blue Wave. The guy you want serving, just too much on the serve. Lands out of bounds. Rams on top by 5.
Pressure just was maybe a little bit too much. I think being back on the service line when you're down in that moment and missing is more mental than it is a lack of skill.
Clapping by New Canaan bench. Akavaramu serves. Up to Sapione. Received by New Canaan. Back over to McLaughlin. Hits the ball over. Herget's hit. Hit the tape. Fell on New Canaan's side. 22-18.
Darien gets their lucky point off the tape like New Canaan had earlier with the topspin serve.
You always need a couple of those, right, Savannah? In a game like this, you need to have a little bit of net luck. Miller will serve for the Blue Wave. Miller serve right to Park. Ho attempts to
Target
hit it
was ready for it.
once again himself. Hit by McLaughlin. Again, the celly. Hit probably just a foot or two inside the line. Mixing it up. Looked like that was more of a placement hit than a power hit. And he put it right in the box. 23-18. Balute will serve for New Canaan. Just 2 points away. Valued serve over the net, received, chopped by Herget. Blue Wave trying to catch New Canaan off guard, blocked in front by Tiku. Back over Wheeler, kept up by New Canaan. Near side, McLaughlin hits past the arm of Garcia. New Canaan up by 6, 1 point away. Can they do it?
It was a great push on that set, backing up and still managing to get it almost to the pin.
Valued will serve for New Canaan. A lot on the line here. Valued serve over. It's an ace. New Canaan's done it. Everyone's swarming John Valued. New Canaan has beaten Darien for the first time since 2016. Coach Warren, her 100th career boys win. She just means more. The clapping, she wouldn't have it any other way. What a historic moment inside the New Canaan High School gymnasium. See the hug with the athletic director, Jay Egan. See the serve by Balut, the celebration by New Canaan. What a win for New Canaan over the Darien Blue Wave. How fitting comes against one of the greatest high school volleyball coaches in the country, head coach LaRusso. See the 100th career win sign being carried over to Coach Warren. You see the clapping. She's holding up that sign. Coach Warren, you deserve it. New Canaan defeating the Blue Wave for the first time since 2016. Just look at that, the celebration for Coach Warren. See the replay of this final point. Value just trying to put it in. Miscommunication by the Blue Wave, lands between a few Blue Wave jerseys. The immediate celebration to Coach Warren and John Balliute, who had the big serve. You know, what a victory for the New Canaan Rams Savannah, but that doesn't mean that these two teams won't meet in the playoffs. Both these teams, of course, upper in the seed of the conference, so these two teams very well could meet in the playoffs, and if they do, what a matchup it'll be. Of course, New Canaan won 3-1 today, but you mix up a couple of those sets, you give a couple points to the Blue Wave, and we could be looking at a different game.
Definitely. I think that last point with the miscommunication was indicative of how frazzled they got at the end there. And I think that it's hard to beat the same team twice, especially a team that is talented. And I think that they have a good chance of meeting again. And if they do, it might be a different story.
Yeah, and before we go, we want to thank our entire crew who helped out with this production. Of course, Harrison Diltz, Avery Jakovich on camera. We have our producer, Jason Generalis, Nick Placencia, who helped out, our two advisors, Damian Andrews and Roman Cebulski. Myself, John Frieders, Savannah Leone. You see the celebration with Coach Warren, two former players, everyone in the building to celebrate this career milestone. And you guys witnessed it live on NCTV DAF Media Network. Until next time, we'll send it over to our sponsors.
This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Quest Builders Group, a general contracting, construction management, and consulting company who proudly supports all of our high school athletes. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler of Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile. You're in good hands. We thank Platinum sponsor Frangione Engineering. Planning on putting in a pool or an addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangione Engineering can help you find a solution. Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs. We thank Platinum sponsor Manfredi Jewels. Manfredi Jewels, your local official Rolex jeweler, is excited to continue carrying the finest jewelry and watch brands and welcome the New Canaan community into their newly renovated store this fall. Go Rams! Platinum sponsor Renaissance Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. We thank Platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We also thank our Platinum sponsor Hoyt Livery for 30 plus years of service. We would like to thank our gold sponsor Anderson Kenny Architecture, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commissioned residential and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We thank another gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, a family-owned deli right here in town serving the New Canaan community since 1986. They are a proud sponsor of the New Canaan community and all of our sports teams. And we thank NC Graphics LLC, a gold sponsor who is a constant supporter of the NCHS Booster Club. They are a custom graphics company located right here in New Canaan for all of your logo designing needs. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams!